Plaintiff Kathy Castell dated the defendant, and they have a 7-year-old son together. But Kathy desperately wants the defendant to get his life on track so he can be a good father. Kathy claims the defendant has been in and out of their son's life for the past 4 years due to his crack and heroin addiction, and she's suing him today for child support. Defendant Jason Miller admits that he was addicted to heroin for 2 years, but denies that he was ever addicted to crack and insists he's been clean for 80 days. Jason says Kathy's no angel because she was also using cocaine, and he believes he's being overcharged for the child support.
Tell me about it.
First of all, I'd just like to start by saying I'm not here to fight with Jason or cause any more drama with him.
You just want your money.
I just want him to do what's right and be a good father. Jason used to be a great father, but he became addicted to crack cocaine and heroin and has been for the last 4 years.
At the same?
Together. He smoked crack cocaine, he shot heroin. He's pretty much been out of my son's life for the last 4 years.
How old is your son?
He's 7, he'll be 8 in August.
Let me allow him to respond to that. Sir, you dope fiend?
No, it's not as bad as she makes it sound.
It's not
the
as
last
bad?
2 years.
It's not as bad as she makes it sound?
Yes,
You're
sir.
half a dope fiend?
I was using heroin.
Huh?
I was using heroin, yeah.
You were using heroin?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're a full-blown dope fiend, sir. You know that, right?
For a couple years, yeah.
Right. Okay.
I got 80 days clean now, though.
Oh, good. Good. How did you do that?
I just basically stopped. And then I was
sent to jail,
incarcerated.
Your Honor.
I've never heard of that.
Because he was sent to jail, Your Honor.
Okay.
I was only
That
sent to jail
sounds
for
different.
45 days.
You were in jail 45 days. Prior to the first day in jail, you were on heroin?
No, I stopped 3 weeks.
Before?
Yes, sir.
On your own?
Yes, sir.
You just said one day, I'm not going to shoot this heroin.
The reason that made me stop is because I had a near-death experience, and I knew it was time to make a change.
Now, you weren't a crack addict at that time as well?
No, sir.
That's
All right,
why
those
he
are two
was
different
smoking-
highs, man.
He was smoking
But some
crack
people
at the
do
same
that.
time.
It's when they do it together, it's called speedballing. And just let me tell you, I call drug addicts and recovering drug addicts dope fiends for a reason. Because if you pretty it up for them, they'll begin to think, oh, it isn't that bad. I'm just a victim of a disease and a mental thing that causes me to turn to drugs. And please feel sorry for me, mama. And I'm going to come on TV and say, oh, woe is me. No, you need to come on TV and say, I'm a dope fiend.
I agree.
Well,
I was a dope fiend.
all right. Yeah. And now you're in recovery. That's good news.
Sir.
You don't go to NA?
Occasionally, yes.
Okay, well, you probably need to go regularly so that you can fight that addiction. All right, good luck to you on that. Let's hear about the child support or anything else you want to tell me about
Well,
that.
from that, we do have a 7-year-old son who was born in August of 2002. Jason and I were living in Chicago when the baby was born, and we were evicted from our apartment, which forced us to move back to Indiana. Jason was cheating on me pretty much the whole time. He ended up leaving me for another female and getting
When was that?
pregnant. This was probably in 2003, and he ended up leaving me homeless, and I was living with friends and family. I ended up having to donate my plasma, borrow money from friends and family just to support myself and my son.
At the time, she was doing coke.
That is not true. I'm not a saint. I used cocaine before my son was born. I did not afterwards. So he is
Snort
lying
or
about
smoke?
it. I snorted cocaine.
Go ahead.
So that is true, but that was before my son. I'm living as I can. I'm homeless, trying to do the best that I can. And Jason ends up getting the girl that he ended up leaving me for pregnant. Well, in October of 2005, she had the baby, and he found out that it was not his child. And that's when the addiction really began. He began smoking crack cocaine with his mother. And she,
Come on.
That's hearsay.
Hearsay.
Yeah, that's
your best
who would
answer.
Tell her that? Where would she get that from, though? You know?
Oh,
Did you ever
that's
see
terrible.
that happen?
I was not there to see it.
That's
no, I
just
was
something
not.
she just throws
That
out
was
there.
something that he actually did tell me. Well, regardless of the fact, his mother
Sir,
was
it's
a
not
drug.
hearsay when you tell somebody something direct.
I didn't tell her
Hearsay
that.
by definition is something said
She
by
heard
someone
from somebody else.
Well, subsequently, his mother died about 2 months later due to her drug activity. She died of heart failure because of her drug activity. And that's when Jason really began to spiral downhill and began to shoot heroin. And that's where we're at now.
Okay.
I just want him to be a good father and do what's right.
Okay.
Be a man and take care of your child, pay your child support, and help me. I cannot do this by myself.
Sir, let me hear your version of your relationship with your son. And secondly, tell me your work history so I can get an idea of whether you have even tried to work and support your child. Some drug addicts can maintain a job or employment.
I supported my son till he was 5. She left and I kept the kid. We split up when he was 2, and I kept him for the next 2.5 years.
He took him for 6
But I
months.
But he kept him with him?
Yes.
No.
Yes, sir.
He took him for 6 months when he started dating the girl who got pregnant.
What's the longest amount of time he has kept
6
his
months.
son?
He took him to Wheatfield.
All right,
delivered-
so he's lying about the 2.5 years in your opinion?
Yes, very much so.
Where were you all staying?
First, we stayed at my mother's house, and we stayed at my dad's house,
All right.
and we stayed at my aunt's house.
All right. Tell me about your work history.
I had a job at 17. That's when we met. I was working at a dairy, making $15 an hour. And I lost that job when he was about 1.
How?
Well, because of my mom's drug problem, she ran into, because we worked at the same place, and she got fired. So they figured it was a conflict of interest because, I handled finished goods, and they thought I might hold a grudge because she's my mother.
Plaintiff Kathy Castell has a child with the defendant, and Kathy claims he's been in and out of their son's life due to his crack and heroin addiction.
Let's get to the child support. You have an order showing how much he owes, and do you believe you owe $3,798?
Well, when they first hit me with the child support, they hit me with a year back pay, which I thought was not right because
Why?
I was taking care of the kid.
No, he wasn't.
Did you tell the judge that?
Yes, sir.
And you need to know, as do those watching, particularly men who think that they can pay outside of the court and get credit for that. That is not the law, and it's very unusual that a judge will do that. You can't cut an outside deal. You can't say, I'll just buy some milk and some Pampers, and I'm contributing to child support. So therefore, instead of paying $100 a month, I only have to pay $50 a month. You can't do that. You have to pay as the judge or the child support order requires.
The thing was,
What
whenever
did they say when you told them? When you asked to have
they asked
credit?
me to prove it.
Did you?
No, because when
What's
he
your
got
other defense? Go ahead.
when he got sick and everything, she had the Medicaid for him, so I let her take him to the doctor and everything else. But after that, she would bring him back to my house, and I would keep him.
That's a complete lie.
What else? What
I
is
just
your
want to
other
say that,
defense?
I am in my son's life. I've been in my son's life ever since he was born,
How often
Here's
do
a
you
letter
see him?
that he wrote me just a month ago.
I see it.
And here's some pictures.
Well, he's good. 7 years old, and he's writing.
Look at the back of it.
He's typing at 7
No.
years old.
Look at the back of it.
Flip
It
it
has
over.
a broken
The
heart.
letter's on the other side.
Look at the back.
Oh,
He
well,
wrote
why
it
you hand me this then?
because he.
Because that's what he wrote it on when he sent it to me.
Oh, I
But look
got
at the
you.
broken hearts
You're trying
that
to play
says
me
Devin
for a
and
real
Daddy.
fool, a 7-year-old
He's
typing.
drawing hearts that are broken down the middle.
I love you, Dad. I will love you forever. Will you tell me, please? All right, he puts a broken heart down the middle.
Yeah, because
though, as
he's
she
heartbroken.
says.
Because he barely ever sees him. He'd
What do you
rather
think that's
be
He
about,
did that
sir?
because I was arrested.
because my
But I
son
told
would
him that I
rather be
was going to
homeless,
be
living in a
arrested.
car with his
All
dad.
right.
He
Hey,
loves
ma'am, you
him
have
so
your
much.
child support
Yes,
order.
I do, sir.
He says the child wrote the broken heart because he was brokenhearted over his arrest,
Yes.
and that's not unusual that a child is brokenhearted when one of the
'cause of
parents
his
go to
arrest
jail.
and because he-
$3,798 is what is listed on your arrearage. I must go by that. $3,798 is what the court says you haven't paid yet, and that's her judgment. Have a good
Thank you
day.
very much, sir.
Good luck.
We're gonna try and stay civil for our son because that's basically all I want is for him to have a relationship with his son and do what's right.
And that's fine with me. I just want to be in his life.
And,
Do what needs to be done.
and hopefully he can stay clean. I hope you're the best, and I hope that everything works out for you, and I'm sorry that it had to be like this.
It's okay.